Let's see. Do I have audio this time? Logging in to the show. I hope I do. I hope you can all hear me. I can see the little thing on the screen moving when I talk. So let's see if people go, "You're muted. You're muted." Hey, good to see you all for a Saturday night. For a Saturday night, very late on Saturday night, and it's been crazy down here today in Melbourne. Woke up to like severe thunderstorms rolling across the city, and the most bonkers thunder I think I've ever heard. It was Here's the remnants of it here, down here. If we go down here, oh, you can't really see it, but up in this top corner, this is all the stuff that all this red and stuff was all further west earlier today, and it has slowly moved across the state of Victoria, this giant system. And the thunder was rolling. The thunder was rolling earlier today. Really severe thunderstorms. Probably the best ones I've seen all summer. So that was interesting. And we've had some brownouts and stuff like that. So it's been a fun day already. Good to see you all. It is late, real late US time, but that's okay. Hey, Marilyn Landis, how are you? Good to see you. Gayla's here. Rachel, Kathy's here. Hey, Kathy. Diamond Heart, good to see you. Savatha is here. You must have known. Must have known. Weather is crazy all over the world. It is. Yeah, they don't like the thunder. So whenever there is like a thunderstorm and there's lightning and all that, they hide under the bed. So that's how we knew something was up this morning. I woke up to the cats jumping all over the bed, and then I was like, "Oh, what is that noise?" And it was thunder, just rolling thunder all morning, which is haven't seen it in Melbourne in a while, maybe a couple of years. Not that severe. It was, yeah, like every second, like bang, bang, bang. Very active thunderstorm. But we've had a run of hot days down here. It's been a hot week, so to get that cool change come through was really good. Hey, Rachel, good to see you. Lynn D, happy to have you all here. I wanted to talk a little bit about the fires, and while we get settled in, and we'll talk about true crime. There's this cool video going around. I don't exactly know if it's an actual fire tornado, but it looks sort of like a fire whirl. But it's really cool. I'll show it to you if you haven't seen it. Hold on. Yeah, there was this fire tornado spotted in LA. Look, I'm not sure. I would have to see the whole thing, but here is the video of it here.
Some wild video. Check out this fire NATO. It was captured by Fox 11 LA in the Palisades fire. This was last night about 10:45 local time. This one's been all over social media. Unbelievable. Yeah, you get big pressure changes, big temperature changes, and you can see those. It's a real thing. There's actually been an EF3 fire NATO that happened in the past. I'm trying to remember which fire it was from. It was several years.
So there's actually been a few. This guy is not fully correct. There was one in Australia. We've had several in Australia that have been higher ranking in the EF scale. There was one, I think it was Paradise. Was it the Paradise fire? Might have been Paradise. They had an EF3 that hit over there, real monster, fire tornado. This thing, I don't know. It looks more to me like a fire whirl, but it's hard to know with this angle, and I can't tell what scale I'm looking at, whether these are about a foot high or they're 10 feet high. It's the scale of this video is hard to tell. Like, is it only as high as a human, or is it as high as like a skyscraper? It's hard to I can't tell out of that video. So like, I can't tell if these are trees or shrubs. Like, that's the thing. But hey, it looks cool, and definitely has rotation here. You can see as that everyone will focus on the center where that vortex is, but what's more important is the outside here, where you can see the motion of this. You can see everything being drawn in and then up here, which is, you can see that motion there on the outside. That's what's more important here, not so much that center bit. You can see that whirling updraft here. and you can see then the center gets stronger as that gets brought in. Very similar to the way a ballerina draws her arms in to spin faster, and then like goes out, they spin slower. Very similar effect, but yeah, you can see it there, and then it pulls up, and then you get that more vertical, further up, as before it was like a lot lower like that. And you go get a bit of strength. Tries to go all the way up. I don't know if it did. That's probably the best shot of it there. But yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool. I told you the other night that they had forecasted that these might happen, and the fact that this maybe slanted on a hill where you get these winds that the winds on hills are really funny. They sort of get a down the hill, and then at the end they sort of congregate from another direction and they swirl, and you get this. It depends. I think the one in Canberra that happened a number of years, like 20 years ago, that one traveled like miles, like 30 miles. It was on the ground for quite a while. The one in Paradise, if it is a correct fire, I don't think that one went very far. I think it was sort of like within a couple of miles. But yeah, they can travel. It depends on the wind speed, how fast the fire is moving, this type of thing. So they can travel just like a normal tornado, but they can also disappear very quickly, like a normal tornado. So they have similar characteristics, but not exactly the same. There is a better video. This is the only one I've seen. Let me have a look quickly if there is a better video. I only see that one. Hold on. Oh, actually, is it the one from above? You sort of see it spiraling from above. I do see some sort of video here. Hold on, let me see if I can grab it. Is it this one? Is that the same one? Maybe you had two. I don't know. Why are you doing this? There we go. I don't know if that's the same one, but it could be. If not, it's another one. It's not playing. Come on. Pretty cool. I don't know if that is the same one. It looks different. The other one was at night. This one looks like it's at day. Yeah, so there you go. Pretty cool. Oh, actually, there you go. Actually, that looks very different. Wow. Yeah, that end bit actually solidifies that much better. There you go. You see that funnel go all the way up. Yeah, that was a real one. That was a real one. Because like the thing is, sometimes you get things that look like this on the ground, but they never connect, and you don't get that funnel that goes all the way to the top, and they don't end up doing any damage. They're just almost like a water spout. They're very weak. They don't really do anything. They're more called like a fire whirl, but this thing, no, this thing 100%. You see that condensation funnel go, or what's probably smoke on this one, but yeah, go all the way up to the top. Look at that. That is really super impressive. I don't know if that is. I don't know what one that is, but that's cool. Diamond Heart said, "Fire is my worst nightmare." Yeah, I don't know where the other video is. If someone has it, send it to me on the Facebook or the Twitter or sundaywithping@gmail.com for the email. If someone ends up finding it, I'd like to look. That one's cool as hell, though. That whole thing goes all the way up. That's probably one of the better views I've ever seen of one, because most of the time they're surrounded by so much smoke and darkness and things. It's hard to make out any of the structure, but yeah. Hey, love is a four-letter word. How are you? Good to see you. Okay. The other thing I was going to talk about with the fires. So people ask me, Ping, who do you think is a good people to help with the fires? And I was like, well, I'm not sure. I'm not from LA. I'll have to look around. The one I saw was the Humane Society was helping people with displaced animals. They were helping people like find homes or sort of places for animals to go when they don't have their home. That's like horses, cattle. I saw one that was like a herd of goats they were helping. So maybe the Humane Society of LA, they could use some help. And then I saw the food truck guys that are collecting donations. I think they're in the Rose Bowl now or a race course. They're down in LA. They're accepting donations until tomorrow night, and no clothing. They no more clothing as they've got a ton of clothing. But if you are in LA and need help, go. I'll get the address. But they are giving out things like dog food and human food, clothing, assistance vouchers, things like that. And I think they're doing a really good job. I think they even started a GoFundMe. Hold on, I'll grab the video of them talking. Seemed like good guys. Apparently, they came together. They just wanted to feed people after the fires, and it's sort of grown. And they've outgrown 3 different locations in about 3 days. So I really like that. Let me see if I can find that video I was watching to show you these fellas. Good guys, Angelinos, which is a new word. I've never heard that before, but that's a cool word for the people of LA. Let's see, was it this one? Live updates. I hope it's this one. Hold on. I'd like to show you these guys if I can. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to mute it so I can scrub through it. I know their fund was like the Christopher something GoFundMe. I'll have to try and see if I can find it. Okay, it's not on this video. It's not from KTLA 5. All right, give me 1 second. I'm just going to grab and see if I can search it from somewhere. Hold on 1 second.
We've been reporting on the wildfires that have devastated a number of local communities. So much loss, so much sadness in our coverage. But tonight we have discovered something quite wonderful taking place in Pasadena. And we just wanted to share it with you. It's a pop-up help center. Local residents there coming together to help other neighbors who've lost so much. Eyewitness News reporter Kevin Ozebek from our sister station in Houston found this pop-up and help center. He's joining us live at the Rose Bowl with the story. Kevin?
Hi there, Mark. So, Mark, we were just kind of driving around out of the corner of our eye. We see all of this activity, this big crowd, and we said, we better check that out. And we are sure glad we did. Just take a look around. This is a pop-up donation site, and it is growing fast, and it is growing rapidly. You can see all these people here getting what they need. You can find everything here from paper towels to dry soup to paper and plastic plates, anything you need if you just lost your home. And we've seen dozens and dozens of fire victims come here tonight. And the only reason they are getting all this help and all the support is because all of the donations that are pouring in.
The food being handed out is hot, and all these essential items are free for those who need them.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it means a lot to be able to see the community giving back to each other and working together.
Jackie Zavala is here to pick up the bare basics like toilet paper and a toothbrush. Her home burned down in the Eden fire and is one of dozens here of what you could call a pop-up donation drive.
We started with just 2 hot dog carts yesterday. We planned just to come give 500 hot dogs.
Word spread on TikTok that food truck vendors were coming together to feed those impacted by the fires. And that has grown into this, a pickup site where fire victims can get everything to help them survive the next few days.
What does it mean to you to see all these people coming and getting the help that they need right now?
It feels unreal that all these people are here together helping one another. It feels so special.
And all this sprung up in parking lot I outside the Rose Bowl Stadium.
We found out that they were using this parking lot as shelter or refuge, if you will, and we wanted to do something for them. And here we are. It has turned into this with the power of social media and my friends.
And for those most in need, they could not be more grateful. Some here now hardly have more than the clothes on their backs.
Our house did burn down in Altadena, so, you know, we don't really have anything. Just trying to get anything we can.
Oh, I can't imagine how tough that is, but to see this pop up to help people like you, what does that mean to you?
No, it means the world to me. I mean, this is my community, and I'm so grateful to have them.
SoCal this week has seen the worst that Mother Nature can bring, and now the best of humanity's giving nature.
Our goal is to make sure that every family that was impacted gets the right help that they need.
And that right there.
So I'll leave it there so I don't get in trouble from ABC7 or abc7.com. Yeah, Santa Anita Park Racecourse parking lot. So I heard the story tonight on, I don't know, it was either Fox or KTLA, I'm not sure which one. And they were saying how they outgrew 3 sites. They were originally at one. They got booted out because it just got too large. And then they were offered another one near the Rose Bowl. And then they outgrew that. And then they ended up at the Santa Anita Park Racecourse parking lot. Originally given a quarter of it, but then they got the races called off for the weekend. And they just said, hey, you can just have it all. So these guys are good guys. They mentioned the GoFundMe on there. Well, they did a interview tonight saying they only just set it up, and I'm trying to find it now. I know they gave a name. It was like Christopher something Foundation, but good work, Ping. You should have had this information before you went live. That's annoying. There is one here, but I don't believe this is the same guys. I don't think. I don't know if this is the same guys, unfortunately. Let me see if I can find anything else for you. Just trying to see if I can find the actual GoFundMe for the correct guys. No, I don't know. It doesn't seem to be on anything I type. Maybe because I'm from Australia or something. Sometimes my search results don't pick up like what a local person would, even if I change my location to LA. They even called off the races for them. Yeah, it's really cool. The Rotary Club, they always help. If I can find it during the show, I will post it in the chat. But I know that they said they're accepting monetary donations through the GoFundMe or in person. They were accepting no clothes if they got too many clothes, but anything else like dog food, pet supplies, I think they're still accepting. Food, that type of thing, you know, drinks, hygiene type stuff, some other things. It might be on X. Yeah, let me see if I type it in my here. Let me see if I can find anything else about it. No. No, it's not. It's weird. Don't filter by session across fire. No. I will keep looking. It's like a bunch of dudes. If I can find the video, I'll play it during the show. Just we'll have to find it. But they're good people. Nanalana says Samaritan's Purse is a great place to donate, and they are in LA setting up tents. The photo that that is on the thumbnail, that is, from what I understand, firefighters who are sleeping at the Rose Bowl or were, and you can see they're just sleeping on the ground in a sleeping bag, ready to get to work on their next shift. So anything that helps them would be good. Gayla says, I hope if there's any hotels not affected, they let people shelter. There are localized things going on. I think they're Airbnb's doing free accommodation. I don't know how it works, but I know Airbnb is doing something. Lyft and Uber will allow you to take trips up to a certain amount. Each one is slightly different, but I'm not sure. I think one's 40, one's 2 trips are 20 or something. You guys can check it out if you're in the local area. Lindy says, I grew up near the racetrack. My understanding is the races were called off for both reasons, but mostly so the parking lot could be used. That is awesome. I love it. Okay, thank you. I'll check it out. Okay, thanks. I think this is what I was just talking about. The Airbnb thing. You know, I saw a pretty strange story about celebrities fighting over hotel rooms at like, you know, $1,000 a night, $5,000 a night type places, and there's so many cars in the parking lot that they're all like trapped basically because they can't get them all out. But there's so many celebrities. Okay, what is it saying here? Airbnb.org. They're saying help impacted fire communities. Help impacted communities. 100% of your donation goes towards providing emergency housing. That's a good thing. There's a lot of people who don't have a home right now. They said bushfires are causing devastation across LA. We're partnering with 211 LA to provide free emergency housing to people who've been displaced or first responders. If you or someone you know needs support, fill out 211 LA's intake form. So I will provide this link. Thank you, Kathy. There's a place down here if you can host people too. So if you're a host and can make your place available, like you've got a spare place in LA that you normally rent out or whatever, I think you can help people out. Yeah. So here, let me place that. It's a good one. This is a link that Miss Kathy gave me. Gail says there was supposed to be a law brought in so places can't increase prices of anything. It's just going to happen, guys. It happens in every natural disaster. The prices of fuel's going to go up. The prices of food will go up. The prices of pet food will go through the roof. So if you are in LA and you are struggling, the guys from the fire truck said it's not just for people who are affected by the fires. It's for anyone in LA who needs a hand. So I am glad they opened it up to, you know, sort of everyone who needs a hand. Because sometimes in these fire situations, the people who are already doing it tough get forgotten about, but sounds like they've already thought about that. So it's a good idea. No, Alana says thousands without homes. It's going to be bonkers, I swear. Let me see. Look, this is the one that was on GoFundMe, but I don't believe this is the same guys. It says fire trucks fuel relief for LA heroes, but I just don't believe this is the same one. Yeah, this one's only raised $900, but I'm pretty sure the other one has already raised thousands. At least I think so. But I don't know anything about this one, unfortunately. Who is this one? Matthew Geller. I'm not sure who Matthew Geller is, but I will try find the other one for the other dudes for you. Let's see. Stacy said they are on cots on the beach. Her son's there. Yeah. Cots on the beach. There's some in stadiums, or I think some are in a university, like a sporting field. So good people. I hope they are, you know, hope they can get their job, do it safely, and get home. Hey, April B, how are you? All right, let's see. But thousands pour in. Maybe I can find it from this. These are the fellas here. These are the guys here. Jerry Martinez, Juan Diaz, and Jimmy Medina. So they're saying what started with a food truck guy, a street vendor, and a self-described food enthusiast. That's a good name. All wanting to provide food for the LA County wildfire victims has grown into a massive effort to collect donations and distribute them to those in need. It began at the Rose Bowl in Pasadena in California and has now moved to the Santa Anita Park parking lot. They say, so yeah, so don't go to the Rose Bowl. Head to the Santa Anita Park parking lot. They said thousands of people are pouring into the racetrack, some bringing items to donate, others lining up for a chance to pick up needed supplies, all provided for free. The wildfires have broken out across LA and are still raging, with the Eaton fire closest to this particular pop-up donation place. They're saying it, but it's not threatening the racetrack. Thank the Lord. They said as more and more people lost their homes, they say Jerry, Juan, and Jimmy wanted to help. They say this all started with wanting to give hot dogs out to the local community. Isn't it amazing that it started with like a small idea and now they're like one of the largest sites in LA in like 3 days? They say they wanted to give out food. Originally, this was supposed to be a couple of hundred hot dogs. Well, sometimes a great idea and a need to help, explodes into, they started a chain reaction within their community and got everyone to come and help. So they say all three are very active on social media, particularly TikTok. That's why we can't find them. They're on TikTok. And they streamed on that platform while they gave out food. They say initially the effort began in a Rose Bowl parking lot as word spread on social media. And then as traditional media picked up the story, it turned into a large pop-up spot. But soon the Rose Bowl area was needed for the National Guard. They say Santa Anita was able to offer an alternative. The track was already providing space in its parking lot to Southern California Edison. They say we provided a lot of space for Southern California Edison to stage all their trucks and everything else. And they say, yeah, that they were able to find them some room. And what else here? They said the morning of January 11, cars were lined up throughout the parking lot to get to the area. Some volunteers and yeah, they're just bringing carloads of donations in to help people. I love seeing this in the event of something bad happening. Everyone just does what they can to help people. I love that, especially a great place like LA. They say I was looking online to see how I could help, according to this person. They said, my niece heard about this and she said she was going to donate diapers. So I bought diapers as well. I'm just helping out where I can. A pack of diapers or, a monetary donation, it doesn't matter. It's all going to help someone who right now really needs it. So, people do what they can. Somebody sees you giving something, it encourages them to do what they can. And that's how the love spreads of helping the community. They say Diaz said that while they're not taking any more clothes, they still need items such as water, blankets, diapers, and pet food. He's under the TikTok LA Glizzy Hot Dogs. So if you can find him on TikTok, that's how you find him. Here, I'll put it in the chat so people can see it after the show. Apparently, this is his TikTok handle. And let's go back. And the other one is the foodie guy, the food enthusiast is Rock and Roll Foodie. And you can check him out here on this one. So they probably got the link up on there, actually. Actually, if I search this, I'll probably find the GoFundMe. Good detective work, Ping. Good work. You could maybe do a true crime show one day. Let's see. Oh, they're on Instagram. Oh, that's annoying. I hate Instagram. Let me see if I can load it. Nope, it really doesn't want to do that. Yeah. Okay. It's weird. Type in those keywords and nothing comes up. I will find it for you. Make sure it's in the description and in the comments under this video. I will find it for you. I know it's in a video in a live stream that was done a couple of hours ago, and they gave out the name. So, oh, thank you. I will check that out in a second. Kathy says, "Isn't it nice to see all kinds of people coming together to help others?" I love it. I told you I'd like to see. I'd rather do stories about people succeeding or people being found or someone getting their name back than to tell you about another dead woman. All right, I will check it out. I promise. It says here, okay, thank you. What are they called? They're called Best Friends Animal Society. They have a pet pantry. Oh, that's a great idea. That's a great idea. If I can load this, maybe it'll like me, maybe it won't. So yeah, the food truck guys, if you're in LA or have a way to support them or bring them the things they want, water, blankets, pet food, and any monetary donations would be good too. What do they want? Water, blankets, diapers, and pet food are in big need. So that would be good. And this one. This is a good one. It's called Best Friends Animal Society activates pet pantry locations for wildlife disaster relief. And that's one of the hardest things, right? If you just lost your home and you've lost all the things that your pets normally have, there's a lot of pets that only eat very specialized food or they need their medication or whatever. It could have been all lost in the fire if you weren't able to get back there in time. And it's expensive. Like pet food costs a fortune. Like I think I've told everyone before, to feed my 2 cats every month, it costs me over $250. And you guys are like, "Whoa, Ping, that's crazy." But that's just what it costs. Like Hills CD formula is not cheap. That stuff is expensive. It's like $35 Australian per 12 sachets. It's really not cheap. So I can imagine if you were in a fire, you know, trying to juggle your costs or whatever little cash you have on you, it'd be very, very difficult to make sure your best friends are also taken care of. So to have somewhere where they might be able to help you is a great idea, and maybe a good place to send a donation too if they take monetary, or if you're in LA, you can drop something off. What do they say here? All right. They say they can provide essential supplies, including pet food, cat litter, pet beds, that'd be good, and human sanitary products for those who have lost everything. That's nice. They said here they're operating out of the following locations. One is Best Friends Pet Adoption Center. It's 1845 Pontius Avenue, Los Angeles, 90025. That's the zip code. They have pet dog food, wet and dry, cat wet and dry, dog and cat treats, cat and dog beds and toys and blankets, cat litter, pee pads, which are very important, especially if you're staying in a hotel or an emergency accommodation with your pet. Those pee pads save everything. We often use them here for the cats because Rory likes to pee off the edge of the cat litter, and it has saved our floor several times of a 20-minute cleanup and antibacterialing and wiping, and so those pee pads are a great idea. They also have cardboard cat carriers and pet supplies. Hey guys, hold on. I have to pick something. Hold on. All right. Sorry about that. Yeah, pee pads are a must-have. I agree. What else here? Wet and dry. They say the pantries are open from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. daily. No appointment needed. Those looking to contribute can donate via this link. What is this link? They have like a support link. Okay, let me grab that. All right. Here's the one for the pets where you can support. And the one for the addresses is somewhere here. Somewhere here. All right, Ping. You got to get the right address. All right, here. So the other one is 17411 Chatsworth Street, Suite 100, Granada Hills, California, 91344 is the zip code. Let me grab both these addresses for you in case you need them. There's that one. And the second one for you is this one, the one I just read out. And I'll find the guys with the TikTok and the food trucks. I'll find their GoFundMe and put it up because they're doing a great job. Well done to them for taking the initiative. All three of them, and now they've got a bigger crew. There's like 5 of them or something. Well done to just take an idea like I want to help my community with the limited amount of resources that I have, but I'm willing to do it, and then they just snowballed from there, and they were able to do something much bigger with a simple idea. Sometimes the greatest achievements people do for helping others start from a very small idea that just snowballs into something much bigger than they could have ever imagined. So happy to help them and get their names out there. I just wish I had that original video, but I don't seem to have it. I don't know why I don't have it. I had it a couple of hours ago. Oh, here, maybe. Give me a second. Maybe I can find it. They're not giving out the They're here. Here, I'll show you. This was from KTLA 5 a few hours ago. They talk about the Santa Anita Park Donation Center, but they don't talk to the guys, unfortunately.
I've seen people out here who have donated that have come from different parts of the country. I spoke with someone who was from Atlanta. They just flew in from Atlanta. They saw the fires on TV, flew out here, and decided they wanted to do something that they decided to want to help. People from Northern California have come down here as well, looking to and wanting to do the same thing. So it's really just been a labor of love here all day. It's been continuous, and they will be here until 11 p.m. accepting donations. No more clothing donations, however. They've reached capacity for that, but they will take shoes. Any shoes that you have, feel free to bring those down, along with any canned goods, any non-perishable foods, baby items, pet items, any hygiene products, everyday essentials, whatever you have, feel free to bring that down here as well. If you want to bring a hot meal, you can do so tomorrow morning. No longer tonight, but tomorrow morning. Feel free to bring a hot meal down here as well if you would like to do that and be so inclined to do so. I mean, we've seen it's really been incredible. We've seen kids walking around here just handing out bags with peanut butter jelly sandwiches, just handing them out, just doing anything that they could do. And now I want to bring in Elizabeth here, who's another one of these volunteers from another volunteer group. And it's a lot of subgroups out here all coming together for one collective, one good cause. And Elizabeth was actually a victim of a fire up north. And now you're here as a volunteer helping some of the people down here going through what they've experienced.
Yeah, I'm a survivor of the 2018 Camp Fire. I got involved with an organization called Global Empowerment Mission. And so ever since then, we've been helping man-made and natural disasters, especially, babying, my state, which is California. And we're here tonight. We've been here for the last few days, and we're helping, just bless families with a few cash cards. I was in this very situation, after losing everything, and then in a Walmart parking lot, digging through, donations to try to find a jacket to stay warm and figure out what I could do next for my kids. And it would just so happen that 4 days into that lifestyle that I had changed my life into, that not I changed into, but that got changed into, is when I met the founder to Global Empowerment, and I've just been helping since.
What's going through the minds of some of the people here who are coming here to pick up some of these donations? What are some of the things that they're thinking about and experiencing right now as they go through this?
So a lot of the families that we talk to, a lot of them they're lost. They feel like they're in limbo, which is normal. It's a normal feeling. A lot of them are just overwhelmed, and overwhelmed with not just the support in a good way, but they're also overwhelmed with how much is going on at once, and I think like when we come in and they know that I'm a fire survivor, it gives them that freedom to cry and a shoulder to put their head on for a second, and I'm all for the hugs and everything, and
She seems like a nice lady who seems like she's been through it herself and just wants to help. There's a lot of people like that. A lot of people. Nick says she'll have to be eggs and sausage instead. Oh, you're gonna make some food? Don't say that. Ping's hungry too. Nick says now I want a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Isn't that cute? The kids are doing what they can, and one of the things they know how to make is a peanut butter and jelly sandwich to give out to people. Hey, nothing will make you feel better than a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Even I like them. I'm Australian, and I've had that, and it tastes great. It's one of the best things in the world. It's like sweet jam, and you get that sticky peanut butter. It's a magical combination. Although in Australia, a lot of people do peanut butter and banana. It's a bit of a thing here. April says, "God bless her. What an amazing woman. Yeah, what a lovely lady." So she's a good one too. So if you are going to send anything to me in the next couple of days, don't do that. Maybe send it to one of these orgs that we've talked about tonight. Don't worry about me. There's a lot of people out there that need a lot more help. So if that was something you were planning on doing, and if anyone does send me anything, I will forward that on in your name to somewhere like the Animal Pantry, or I'm pretty sure the Humane Society was working on rehoming animals. Hold on. Which is a really big deal right now. I don't know if they're a good, like, I know there's some animal places that are good, there's some that are bad. They don't do the best by the animals. So I don't know about this one. I saw them on the news. They say Los Angeles fire animal rescue groups open their doors to pets as owners flee the wildfires. And they're saying animal rescue groups, no, we already know that. Oh my God, it's a tortoise. Aw, he can't run from the fire. Someone has to save him. They're saying ending up in emergency accommodation, many have been forced to turn their pets over to shelters temporarily. They're saying from cats to dogs to horses to tortoises to birds, pigs, and more, rescue groups are hosting a surge of animals with some in need of treatment. Many are also taking in injured wild or stray animals. They said, we've definitely seen a significant increase in the number of burned and injured animals coming to our shelter, and that's the Pasadena Humane Society. They say these animals are suffering from smoke inhalation, singed paws, burns, dehydration, and more. So apparently they are also accepting donations to help different people. Give me 1 second. I need a drink. 1 sec. Gaily, I think it's a good thing though that there's a place where you can stay somewhere and your animals can be safe as well. There was a woman, they found her body last night in LA. She died because she didn't want to leave her pets anywhere, and she died in her car. Her car was overcome with flames, and she died. She burnt to death along with her dogs. Very, very sad. I wish she had known about somewhere like this where she could have taken her animals. Yeah, I heard about her death last night. Let me see if I can find it. Da, da, da. Okay, but maybe I'm talking crap. No, I swear to God, I read this last night that there was a woman who didn't want to give up her pets and she died. Okay. I can't find it for some reason. Look, I'm pretty sure I read that last night. I don't tend to tell you lies on this channel. We tend to talk facts. I will try and double check that, but yeah, I thought I read that she had died in the fire because she didn't want to give up those animals. Yeah, I thought I wasn't going mental. They say my kitten is currently sleeping on the pad besides my keyboard. I can't imagine losing him and my other 13-year-old cat. Yeah, I mean, you guys know I have my two crazy animals here, and we would not want to lose them either. We are big pet people, so we get it. Yeah, so I will look up that secondary one. I'll try to find it. But yeah, when I heard that she, you know, died because she didn't want to give up her animals, I thought that was very sad. When it seems like there are a couple of places that would have helped her, that would have been able to take the animals, and she could have gone into emergency accommodation at least for a little while. But yeah, look at that. There's the winds and those embers flying down the street. That looks like a time lapse, or not a time lapse. It's a where you leave the shutter open a little bit longer, allows more light in, and you get these cool effects with the light. So fire ember is light, and then you get these. They use it for stars. So if you like ever take star photos, you do like a you keep the shutter open a little longer, you get more light, and you get that cool star effect when you do night photos. I can't remember what the word is called right now. It's been a while since I've done my photography. Gayla says, I think she waited too long before leaving. Could have been. Rachel said some shelters will allow animals. There were a couple that were taking animals. You know what's interesting? I didn't know hotels took animals, but check this out. I'll show you. The celebrities fighting over sold out hotels were able to bring their animals. Some people likened it to the Titanic, where all the rich people were fighting over, the seats on the boats on the Titanic. They're fighting over hotel rooms like the Peninsula 9882. And yeah, look at all the vehicles they just don't have enough room for them all. But yeah, look, there's a person, I don't know who that is, with their dog in a bed. So there's people. It's Chrissy Teigen. I sort of know who that is, what she does, and why she's famous. I'm not sure. There she had a dog in a hotel room. So there are some hotels that will. Yeah, it is a little unclassy. Yeah. Savatha said they might have taken out that article like the billion. Yeah, I don't know where that article went. Maybe it was a miss announcement. Hold on, only five. There was an Australian that died in the fires, apparently. There's a woman. Yeah, 3 hours ago from the BBC. Let me see if I can find. This was the saddest one. Anthony Mitchell and his son Justin. They were waiting to be able to get him out because he had cerebral palsy, and they were waiting for help to move him, and they died in the fire. I think, that one's really, really, really sad. Was this the one? Not that one. Okay, I thought it was a female woman, that she got caught in a car, and the fire overcame her vehicle. Okay, maybe it's not official as of yet. It's not on this list of people from the BBC 3 hours ago. Yeah, I'm not sure. This one's very sad, though. Victor Shaw died trying to defend his home from the wildfire in Altadena. According to his family, the 66-year-old's body was found on the side of the road by his property with a garden hose in his hand, according to KTLA. The property had been in Mr. Shaw's family for nearly 55 years. Mr. Shaw lived at the home with his younger sister Shari, who said she tried to get him to evacuate with her on Tuesday night as the fire moved closer. She told KTLA that he refused because he wanted to try and fight the fire, adding that she had to flee because the embers were so big and flying like a firestorm. Miss Shaw told CBS News she would miss her big brother. She says, I miss talking to him, joking about things, traveling with him, and I'll just miss him to death. I just hate that he had to go out like this. Yeah, that is very, very sad. But some people have that innate sense to fight and they want to defend their home. We have the same thing here where the government tells you you have to make a decision. You either flee and you go early, so you leave many, many hours before the fire gets close to your home, or you make the decision and you stay and defend, and that's it. And if you stay and defend, you are on your own. Like you cannot be calling like 000 for a fire truck. Like you made that decision. If you think you've got the resources to be able to fight it, then you do it. But you know you are on your own. Savatha says government does not want to seem like they are not helping people. So I heard from some podcasters in the morning as well, searching for articles which had disappeared. There are definitely things I've read about this fire that I can't find anymore. It's very strange. I don't know what's going on with that. Rachel said so sad for them. Yeah, I agree. Oh, good night, Nana Lana. Good night, sweetheart. They're saying if there's one thing that truly scares me, it's fire. Yeah, there's a documentary actually. I know it's probably not the greatest time, but if you're interested in fires, there's one from Black Saturday. You should watch it. It's first-hand accounts from people who were in the fire and defended their homes and somehow survived. And there are people like speaking to the firefighters in Australia. Really, really good documentary. Opens your eyes to what these firestorms can do, but also what these fire tornadoes can do. Because apparently on Black Saturday, there was a fire tornado, and the guy standing outside of his property, this is the one quote I keep remembering. He said, it sounded like an aircraft was coming to my home. He's like, it sounded like an aeroplane was outside of my home, like the jet engine. And he's saying, I've never heard a fire sound like an aeroplane. And he's like, as I got closer, it just got deafening loud. And he said his ears popped, and that's all very typical signs of a tornado as you get that pressure difference. All right, hold on. This documentary is very, very good. There's a couple of them actually. They're Into the Firestorm. Is that the? No, that's not it. Let me find it. I've watched it a few times. There was a good documentary released a few years ago about a different set of fires that happened about 5-6 years ago. I think it was 2019. There was a really good documentary that was released about that. That one had the information about the guy, the firefighter whose truck was rolled by a fire tornado, and he died in the in that. But it has that one in that documentary. Let me see. Let me go up here. Oh, it's this one, yes. Someone called WOP HD uploaded it. Very good documentary. Very good. They remastered it into high def. So I'm going to put that in the chat. Give it a watch. I think it would open your eyes. There you go. Give that documentary a watch about Black Saturday. They say, Rachel said it's so scary. We had a forest fire 5 miles from here 2 summers, and I packed the truck and a few bags just in case. I'll tell you a strange story about when I was in being an Australian. I've grown up with bushfires my entire life, including when I was a child. We used to go stay at my grandparents' house, which was northern New South Wales. And I remember standing in my grandfather's backyard watching the fire come over this big hill that was that you could see in the backyard. It's about 5 kilometers away, but this giant mountain slash hill, and you could see the red embers and flame coming over the hill, and I mean it's just something we've grown up with here. As we live around the bushland in Australia. It's something you just grow up with, but doesn't make it any less terrifying. And then a few years ago, when I first moved to this area, I was sitting here watching something. I had headphones on, but all day I could hear these weird noises. And I was like, what is that? Like, I live under a flight path. So we get a lot of helicopters and planes and light aircraft. But this was like constant, and it was going like back and forward, back and forward, back and forward. And then I got a message on my phone from a friend who knew where I lived. And she was like, there's a bushfire down the end of your street. Are you okay? And I was like, what do you mean there's a bushfire down the end of my street? I live in a residential area. Like, there's no bush here. Anyway, there is bush here. If you go down the end of my street, there's a giant section of bushland across the other side of the road. And someone had lit a fire and then not put it out, and the embers had caught fire later on, and then started this giant bushfire, literally at the end of my street. So, yeah, that was an interesting day, a very interesting day. They still don't know who did that, and they're not sure if it was arson or someone being irresponsible. Don't know. But yeah, there you go. There's a couple of my experiences with bushfires. But yeah, I still remember sitting in my granddad's backyard watching that fire come over the hill. My grandfather was part of the CFA. He was a on-call firefighter for emergencies. He had a job 9 to 5, but he was part of the community firefighting people. And yeah, he was waiting for the call to go fight the fire. And yeah, interesting guy, my grandfather. He was a radio presenter. He was a radio host. Isn't that weird? Like, how Trisha's got a background in radio? Yeah, my grandfather was a radio presenter for 25 years, 30 years, something like that. So, yeah. So he worked on the radio, but he also fought fires. He's sort of like a guy that did a little bit of everything. Yeah, that was a scary day. But hey, not as scary as this. I don't think my experiences equate to this, but for the people who lived through Black Saturday in Victoria, I guarantee you that it probably looks something like that, because the meteorological situation was very similar. Not quite the same because of the geographical differences, but the sort of like the overall situation was very similar. You had a high degree heat. It was about 110 degrees Fahrenheit in Victoria, and it had been for a number of days. So there was a buildup of hot, dry air, and they were worried about bushfires happening. But you also had these strong winds. I think there were strong northerlies that were coming down, and they were worried because they were supposed to be at 100 kilometers an hour winds on a 110 Fahrenheit day, and they were just like, this is like the worst conditions that you could ever ask for a bushfire. So yeah, we've had bushfires down here a couple of years ago. I think I showed photos on Trisha's channel where when I walked outside, we could see the smoke columns outside my home, and you could see them like in the distance, and the sun went orange. Like, the sun doesn't look like the sun. Everything has an orange glow to it. That has happened several times in Melbourne since I've lived here. But yeah, bushfires are not something you want to mess with. Rachel sent me some photos of the bushfire in Idaho. Let's have a look. Let's see. Let's see if I can upload them from Rachel. Let's see if I can upload them. Where did they go? All right, here. If it'll upload, come on. All right, there we go. Oh wow, that is a hell of a smoke column. Sorry, I had to cough, and I was like, "You guys don't need to hear that." Um, yeah, that is pretty close. That is not a sight you want to see in the back of your property, not at all. Sabatha says that's why Trisha, her voice is so cool and calm. Probably. I don't know. You have to ask her. Rachel says such a bad combo, wind and hot, dry conditions. Exactly. Though anytime you get like a tinderbox type event where you've had a lot of dry, hot weather, which has been after you've had a big rain period where you get this growth in your forests and bushland. You get these drying out events where then you move into a time where there's little rain, but you get a lot of hot, dry conditions. It dries out all that material that grew in the preceding months. And all it takes is someone being stupid, an arsonist, someone throwing a cigarette butt. One of the fires in Melbourne was started with a guy who was angle grinding on, I think it was a car or something. He was using an angle grinder, and the spark from the angle grinder flew off and started a bushfire. And it ended up being like one of the most devastating bushfires ever in Victoria. Like the guy just so stupid to be running a angle grinder, not in a garage, just on his driveway, like where there's grass and trees and dry stuff. Like some people are dumb in the head, and they're like, oh, no fire day. Does that only mean like a fire in the lighter? Like common sense seems to lose people on the most serious of occasions. Like they just don't think through their actions. Um, Nick says eventually we will bring our own species to extinct. Maybe. Hey, Woman of Steel, how are you? Good morning, everyone. I finally made it to a live stream. Hey, I know you sent in a membership donation a few weeks ago, and I never got to thank you in person. So thank you very much for that. I did see it, and I did see your message. I really do appreciate it. Thank you. Kathy Lynch says, we had a horrible fire in the Smokies years ago caused by teens playing with matches. People died. Right. It's horrible, right? Rachel said that fire was a camper not putting out a fire when they were supposed to. That's what that's what they think caused the fire that was down the end of my street, and it looked very much like that. See, be responsible, people. Don't be lighting fires on fire days. That is a bad idea. So, yeah, it's been a hard week for LA. A hard week. I mean, I know a lot of people are very anti-LA. They're all like, "Oh, the celebrities, they'll survive. They can build 20 houses." But so far, I haven't seen any celebrities that have died. All the people that seem to have died are all normal people. So it affects normal people too. You know, did you all see the drone that hit the firefighting airplane? That person is in so much trouble. The FBI is involved now. If they ever find out who owned that drone, they are going to be in a lot of trouble. The FBI is searching for the person who was flying a drone in a no-fly zone and damaged a firefighting aircraft. Woman of Steel says, hot catalytic converters cause fires in the US, pulling your car over in dry grasses. Yeah, that happens here too. Yes, that does happen here too. Jojo says, my friend was on her way to a wedding during that fire. The original wedding venue burned hours before her wedding. Wow. I hope her marriage is still going strong after all that stress. Sabatha says, I mean, Trisha being in radio, I wondered she was very too experienced to just be casually becoming a podcaster with no experience. That's me. I did that. Rachel says, Ping, have you seen if they found the drone owner? I don't think so. I think they're still... So, from what I understand, they found pieces of the drone now, and the FBI is working with their tech department to try and put it back together and solder it back together so they can get the information off it and track it back to the owner. I saw an interview earlier today. Let me see if I can find that for you. Yeah, so apparently it's going to be out of action for a few more days. They need parts that they don't have, so they're trying to get those parts brought in as quickly as possible to try and get that aircraft back in the air. Very, very, very stupid person. Let's see. Yeah, let's go to City News. Wait, actually, let's go to News 3 Las Vegas. They seem to have a overview. You can see the damage to it, maybe. Let's see.
Thousands of California residents are working to figure out what is next as 5 fires now are burning in Los Angeles. Last word, at least 10 people losing their lives, 5,000 structures wiped out, more than 180,000 people under evacuation orders. This latest fire to break out is the Kenneth Fire just north of the Palisades, contained burning out of control in our meteorology gas station. A lot of new
what's going on this morning. It is very active in the 6 a.m. hour for nearly 3 days straight. Now helping her, and then they do an aerial attack trying to douse those flames. We now know that one of those planes is now grounded after a drone hit it in restricted airspace. The LA County Fire Department posting about it on social media, saying that the wing was damaged, no injuries reported, and it remains under investigation. Flying a drone around firefighting efforts is a federal crime that's punishable up to 12 months in prison or a fine up to $75,000.
Yeah, so the drone punched a hole in the wing of the aircraft. It's right on the screen right now. Look at that hole. Yeah, when they put I can't remember what they call it in the US. It's called like a no-fly zone or a VFR. I think it's called a VFR. It's like restricted airspace. You're not allowed to fly in it. Flying in that, even with a drone, will get you absolutely smacked down by the FAA, now the FBI, probably local authorities too. It's really irresponsible. You know, I know a lot of people were trying to get footage or for their channels, and I can sympathize with that. But flying where the water aircraft are, like the ones that do the bombing, is not okay. The other thing I heard it could have been is it could have been a homeowner flying their drone up to see where the fire was, to see how close it was to their home and their property. That I could understand if it does end up being that. Not a great thing to do, but I get in an emergency why you would be like, oh, federal regulations, I don't really care about that, and then put the drone up. So I get that, but if it's someone that was trying to film for a channel or TikTok or YouTube, you know, come on, it's not worth it. You damaged an aircraft that could have saved someone's property, could have saved, you know, a section of a neighborhood or something. It's not cool. They're saying Sabbatha G we just got the drone craziness a few weeks back in New Jersey. I think that is still ongoing. April B says Gatlinburg. Is that where the fire was? All right. Let's see if we can play any more. Actually, let's see if we can go to the, what is it, the LA Fire Department? Okay. Let me go to the LA Fire Department. Let's see if we can find those original photos. That's the Eden fire. That's not what we want. Bloody Rory. Rory, get down, you silly animal. It's alright, don't worry about it. No, I can't. January 6th, okay. They said the LAFD, right? Los Angeles County Fire Department, yes. Okay, it's not on their page for some reason. I mean, I'm sure it's somewhere on social media. Yeah, no. It's an update about the fire conditions. Here. They don't have the photos though, but they're saying here, today, January 9th, 2025 at approximately 1 p.m., the Super Scooper Quebec 1 was struck by a civilian drone illegally flying in the Palisades fire area. Quebec 1 sustained wing damage and remains grounded and out of service. There were no reported injuries. The incident is under investigation by the FAA. The LACOFD would like to remind everyone that flying a drone in midst of firefighting efforts is a federal crime and punishable by up to 12 months in prison or a fine of up to $75,000. Wow. That person is in a whole heap of trouble if they are ever found. Let me see if I can find... I was hoping to find the photos they put out. Let's see. Los Angeles County. Here. It's the LA County Fire Department. No, that's the one we're on. Weird. The photos are not on there anymore. There you go. You can see that wing. Jeez, it must have been a pretty big drone too. I can't imagine that would be like a little DJI Phantom thing. That must have been like a real big one that had, some metal to it. That's what I would have thought. That is a hell of a damage to that wing. So, yeah, if this is you, I would turn yourself in so that at least you could have some, plausible deniability and be like, hey man, I didn't know, or try get yourself out of it somehow. Pay your, prayers and try and, get a lesser fine. Yeah, they have rules. I'm pretty sure if we go to the FAA right now, there's probably still a no-fly zone or a VFR or whatever they call it over there. Let's see. Zoom in. Can we go to LA? That one doesn't work. Hold on. I'm trying to find the no-fly zone. TFR map. Okay. No. So there's a bunch down here. Can we get into this area? Yeah. So it looks like they do have a couple. What is this one? California, Beale Air Force Base, no. USA, FDC, LA. I can't see any on here. These are NOTAMs, right? TFR list. Okay. What do we want? We want LA, right? Oh, California. California, go. Altadena, yeah. So they got one in Altadena, Santa Monica, Bridgeport, Coyote Wells, Calexio, and then there's some for Beale. I don't know why. Maybe that's where they're running operations from. Let's see. What does this say? NOTAM. To provide a safe environment for firefighting aviation operations. So you cannot fly in this region, and this includes drones. It is a total blackout unless you're part of the firefighting, or police or something. You cannot fly in this area. They do not want you here. And this, when you fly a drone or something like that, you're supposed to check these notifications before you go out flying. Same as if you had an aircraft, you're supposed to check these. Sort of like that guy in, do you remember in Texas a few months ago, there was a guy that hit that radio tower? Yeah. They Should have known. Yeah, I came on late. I'm sorry, guys. It's been a weird day in Victoria. Rachel said, our big problem here is people don't get off the lake so the planes and choppers can grab water. Yeah, get off the lake, man. Let the firefighting people do it. Kaliza said, I didn't know you were on this late. Yeah, I'm on this late. Let's see. Did they ever give us an update for that one in Texas? That guy that flew into that radio tower? I don't think I ever heard anything else. Let's see here. 21st of October. Wow, okay, I didn't know there was a bit of an update. Pilot was talking to air traffic control when helicopter hit the Houston radio tower on October 20, killing all 4 people aboard. And they're saying here, Click to Houston said that it was a rookie mistake. Okay, so apparently they have released a bit of a update. Let's see.
I want to bring in KPRC2's Mario Diaz. He's been looking into the tower. He's been looking into that helicopter and the company. He has the very latest on this investigation. Let's go to him now, Mario.
Daniela, you're right. KPRC2 Investigates today did uncover the fact this flight had only been in the air for 9 minutes. And as for the operator here, National Helicopter Solutions, they have only been operating out of Ellington Field for just a matter of weeks, according to their website, meaning tours had just gotten started here.
We have a situation going on, so I just need a minute from everybody.
Air traffic controllers communications, seconds after a tour helicopter crashes into a communications tower east of downtown Houston Sunday night.
Do you have any idea what tower that was?
The crash that killed 4 coming 9 minutes after the flight took off from Ellington Airport, according to FlightAware tracking.
And you guys just 1 kilo echo off of Ellington? Yeah, they're just departed Ellington, 1 kilo echo.
You have what I would call a rookie mistake.
New York City-based aviation attorney Justin Green has investigated several prominent crashes, including a tour operator helicopter versus airplane crash over the Hudson River that killed 9 in 2009.
Tour flights are one of the more dangerous types of aviation, primarily because they are flying in city environments. The experience of the pilots and the professionalism of the outfits varies greatly.
The operator in Sunday night's crash is National Helicopter Solutions. KPRC2 Investigates called the company and the owners of the helicopter per the FAA, but there were no response to our calls. They also list this building as their company address with the state, but the suite number listed did not exist. National Helicopter Solutions claims to have ties to David Wainhook's Airport in Northwest Harris County and Ellington Airport, where they only started flying their tours 11 days ago, according to their website. As an aviation expert who has investigated helicopter crashes in the past, how do you look at their start date as playing a role in this accident?
It could be a crucial role. Anytime you investigate an accident, one of the things you look on is the pilot's experience, and a big part of their experience is their local experience.
And we know that Justin Green obviously has investigated these in the past, as well as represented individuals who are tied to it. But the investigators now are going to be the NTSB, the National Transportation Safety Board. And when you have accidents like this, they usually take anywhere from 12 to 18 months until they produce that final report to understand exactly what happened minutes after it took off from Ellington Airport. That's the very latest here in Southeast Houston. I'm Mario Diaz for KPRC2 News.
There you go. Yeah, that was a few months ago. That was a bad one. Jojo says, so glad you're on late tonight, is what I tried to say. My phone is glitchy tonight. That's okay. Hey, Jojo, good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Hope you are doing well. You know, I miss a lot of our East Coast people. I miss them, but we don't see them a lot anymore because during the summer period down here, I come on so late, and they are unable to always be here. Kathy Owen says Gatlinburg had a tourist helicopter crashes as well. Oh, okay. I don't remember that one. I mean, we can't cover everything. We try, but I was still looking for these. I was still looking for these. This GoFundMe for the food truck guys. I'll have to find it after we get off because I'll have to go onto their TikTok and that type of thing. I don't even have a TikTok really. I don't even use TikTok. Except if I want to watch those weird people that do that stuff. You ever seen those people that like pull crystals out of sand or rice or whatever? They're so weird. Mrs. Ping loves them. I don't think she's ever bought anything, but she just likes watching them do this weird thing with the, I don't know what they do. They have like a scoop and they pull out crystals and they're like, one scoop, $55. Buy one scoop, get one free. She finds it hilarious. I don't know why, but she thinks it's the funniest thing on earth. Yeah, you're starting to write a load of rubbish. Okay, look, I have one good true crime story for tonight, and it's out of the UK. It's out of the UK. If I can get to it, it's from. Is it from this one? No, it's not about Ted Lasso. Where is it? Here. So we don't hear a lot about women murderers, but sometimes we do. They're saying a woman arrested on suspicion of murder after a man in his 60s is found dead in his home on New Year's Day. They say the woman has been arrested after William McNichol's body was found by officers on January 1 after they were called to a property on Hawthorne Drive, Ipswich, shortly before 6 p.m. The 63-year-old's death led Suffolk Police major investigation team to start a probe, and earlier this week, officers said a Home Office post-mortem examination indicated the cause of death as being from multiple injuries. The area surrounding the house has been cordoned off as police conduct their inquiries. Officers on Saturday arrested a woman in her 50s on suspicion of murder. Apparently, they're saying the force has said the woman was taken to Martlesham Police Investigation Centre for questioning. Residents have been warned they will continue to seek police in the area for the time being. As previously reported, dog daddy Mr. McNichol was known as Billy, lost most of his sight after an accident many years ago and used a mobility scooter to get around. But now they're saying that this woman somehow murdered him. They're saying police confirmed that a dog had been found at the flat and was being safe. Is safe and is being well looked after. They're saying the pet was a replacement for his 11-year-old Staffordshire Bull Terrier called Leo, who died several years ago. So a man who needed help from others, in his life, was killed by this 60-year-old woman. Very, very concerning. Let me just find out if I can give you something from Sky News in the UK, which was arrested for only 5 hours ago, it's saying. Yeah, Sky News. A woman in her 50s has been arrested on suspicion of murdering a man who was found fatally stabbed at his home. A post-mortem examination found the primary cause of death was a single stab wound, but he had also suffered multiple head injuries. And why this is interesting, he is not the only man to be killed by a woman over the holiday period. We had a man in Victoria, Australia, who had been stabbed to death while sitting on the couch of his home by his partner. She picked up a cooking knife and put it into his chest, and he died. And now you have this man in the UK who died for what reason, I'm not sure, but this woman, I'm guessing known to him, decided to commit a violent act on Billy. Seemed like a decent guy. Let me see if I can find a thing about it here. I can't, but that's interesting. So ipswich.co.uk. They're saying he may have been killed as far back as Christmas Day, and that they're investigating how long his timeline of death may have been. They're saying police are investigating the murder of William in Ipswich and have arrested that woman in her 50s. What else are they saying? Yeah. She's now being held on suspicion of murder. Police have now removed the cordon from the crime scene. Officers continue to maintain an increased presence in the area. And they say police are appealing for any witnesses who may have noticed suspicious activity near the address between December 24th and January 1. If you have seen anything around this area, contact police on 101, quoting the reference 37/162/25, or submit information via the Major Incident Public Reporting Portal, or you can also call Crime Stoppers anonymously on 0800 555 111. They also have a website on Crime Stoppers UK where you can do an online form and stay anonymous. They're saying, while police have made their first arrest, they continue to seek information about the public about any suspicious activity around the Hawthorne Drive area over the Christmas to New Year period. So if you saw anything about this man and in the street or anything, call them and let them know. Don't know the relationship between them. It doesn't tell us. Let's see. Da, da, da. Yeah, I don't see a relationship between the two of them. Yeah, 50, 55. Well, she was in her 50s. He was in his 60s. Not that big of an age gap. Could it have been a partner? They're saying he was last reported being seen around December 23rd and had not been seen after that. They said they believed the incident was isolated and said officers would do all they could to reassure the community. What they don't have is any sign of forced entry. There is a hypothesis that Billy knew or had an association with the person that came into his address and attacked him. So they don't have any forced entry. They believe he may have known the person, but other than that, they're not sure, except for they have arrested this woman. We just don't know the relationship between them. Concerning. I hope we find out more about Billy and who this woman is. I will keep an eye on this for you. Can be. The UK releases a little bit more than Australia, but not too much. But they are a little bit more freer with information than Australia is. So if there are charges laid after she's only been arrested on suspicion of murder, what that means in the UK is you are brought in under official caution and you are interviewed. So they are interviewing her and holding her, again, under caution, that they believe she committed the crime. So they have, what is it? It's like 72 hours from bringing her in to either build a case and charge her with a crime, or they can go to court and ask for more time. They can also release her on bail pending further inquiries. So the UK works slightly different to some other places. So we'll have to wait and see. Kathy says Gatlinburg. Yeah, I'll check into that one for sure. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is very early in the morning, but I'm glad I could come and hang out with you guys for a little bit. Let me just double check something. Okay. All right. I will be back tomorrow at a more respectable time, I promise. Today with the storms and stuff like that, we couldn't go on at the time we wanted to, which was 10:30, but I should be on with no football tomorrow. I should be on around 10:30 Eastern. There's no web sleuth tomorrow night as she doesn't do Sunday nights. And yeah, I'll see you then, okay? Love you all. Remember those places we talked about tonight. If you are in a giving mood, give to them. If you had planned to give something to me, just give it to them. They need it much more than I do. And hope we don't hear of any more bodies in LA, but I don't think that's actually going to happen. I think as they go through more bushland, and unfortunately that death toll will probably rise, unfortunately. So I will see you tomorrow. Prayers for everyone in LA. Good work to all the people, accepting donations, putting together packages, helping the people who need it. Well done to all of them. And I will see you tomorrow. Good night. Bye.